FlossTube. This is Barb with Lost and Floss. Today is March 21st, 2024, and I have no idea what video number this is. It's been a while since I've recorded. Time just kind of flew by, and so did the winter. But back today with a ton of stuff. So I hope you sit back and enjoy what I'm going to show you. For those of you new to this channel, this is primarily about cross stitch and my finishing of cross stitch, as well as I think I have one wool applique project thrown in today, and some of your favorite things are what I discover at the thrift stores. So since it's been maybe, I don't know if it's, was it 2 months? It's been like for sure 6-7 weeks since I recorded last. And so I have probably 3 thrift store hauls to show you. And so I'm hoping, because I really have a lot to cover, a lot of finishes, a lot of whips I've been working on, to make this all one video. But if it looks like it's getting really way too long, then I think what I'm going to do is separate it into 2. So we'll see. Either 1 or 2. What's been going on? Usually I save the chit chat for the end, but I kind of was off the radar on stitching, as well as even taking pictures of my stitching. We took a trip. We have good friends that live in Florida, and so we have like always welcome invite to their lovely home. So we went down for, I think it was a total of maybe 10 days. It's like having valet service. They come to the airport, which is maybe an hour and a half from their house, and pick us up. Then at the end of the trip, the 4 of us went and spent 2 nights in St. Augustine. None of us had ever been there before, and so we thought, you know, we've been trying to like visit different places, the 4 of us, and it is fun to see different cities and find some nice restaurants and whatever. We did the hop off trolley tour, which usually I love them, but this one, I think, to begin with, the stops were so close that it didn't seem like you were just going again. And then the trolley driver would always yell, "Trolley's rolling!" And then you go through the rules every single time. No smoking, no vaping, no alcohol consumption, limit your cell phone calls, and if necessary, talk in a quiet voice. I mean, it was like, I almost lost it by the, 15th time that he said this whole spiel. I mean, we've been on others, and I mean, it's all like, I don't know, it's not like young, like a bunch of young people who look like they're out to party that are hopping on, so, I don't know. It just got to be a little old. So, that part I could have maybe done without, but, had dinners at some nice restaurants, as we did in Vero Beach. There was one that we just loved that was on the river up a little bit north of Vero Beach, and just had a wonderful, wonderful lunch there. And, it wasn't that crazy expensive when you think of, what it costs you to go out for a hamburger. So anyways, okay, like usually chit chat is at the end. So let's get on with it. I have gone back to this whip. This is Teresa Koget's American Primitives. And I'm changing this up totally. First off, I'm stitching it on 36 count Aztec red, using a lot of the call for colors, but changing the design. So what I plan to do is put that gold border around the whole thing. And then I'm going to put, there's grass up until the top of that. It's a barn, I guess, but it has a flag on it. So I always thought he had two flags on his little pole behind him, but that is not the case. So instead of putting the sheep on the side with the little house, I put these stars, which I thought looked really cute. And then I'm still on, and instead of putting American Primitives at the top, I'm just going to put America and maybe a couple stars there. And I'm still on the fence on the bunny on a skateboard. There's some of you that are encouraging me to put the bunny in. I don't know. Maybe I'll put USA instead. I don't know yet. I think it would look pretty empty without anything there, but we'll see what ends up going in. You'll be as surprised as me, I think. But I am confident that I can have this done for 4th of July this year. Just figuring out the stars, that was like, you're gonna hear me like just throw my project bags on the floor. I have a new, well, I should have said I'm coming to you from my studio. My husband was calling it that when I said I'm going up to record. He's like, in your studio? Basically my sewing room. But I have a new island, which I've just been loving for finishing things. It has a couple shelves underneath so I can keep all my finishing instruments there, and yeah, it's great. I've been wanting something like this for years, and finally, it was before we went to Florida. I said, let's just go and pick it up. It was from IKEA, and it was cheaper than it was when I first started looking at it, which rarely happens, but it also led me to think, maybe they're going to discontinue that soon. And that had happened with something else that I wanted to get from there. And then I was very disappointed. So, and we are getting close to Easter. So, drinking out of my Easter mug, coffee. And if I finish it during this recording, I have a little surprise to show you. Nothing like caffeine. Moving on, I'm working on With Needle and Thread by Samplers Not Forgotten. I had started this and was having all sorts of issues with the flowers showing up, and finally decided to restart it. And I got this as a kit from Country Samplers, so I'm using their conversion. But I finally changed my fabric to 40 count number 12 Stitch Company, and the color is Antique Lace, which is just beautiful. Well, as you can see, the bottom flower is the color. It actually is showing up better than it was when I was looking at it. And I'm like, I don't want to go through the whole work of this and then have it not show up enough. So I'm like, just made peace with just using a white. So that's coming along. I mean, I haven't made all that much progress, but when I think of that I had to start it over, it's fine. I'm getting there. So, when I was at the Fall Farm Girl Gathering, Beth Twist was there, and I had purchased her Nicholas Hall 1824 chart as a kit from Country Sampler. And so I asked her if she would put the first 2 stitches in. Well, that's all I had. And I'm like, I gotta get at least something going on this. So, let's see. I have like 3 little mountains there. So, not much to show, but it at least shows that I haven't forgotten about it and I want to keep up with it. I have this cute little JBW Designs A Very Merry Spring. And I'll show this to you in a second. So it's this one. And I thought it'd be fun to use this variegated DMC. It's 4501 because these colors just scream spring to me. So I took a little tiny scrap of 36 count Country Mocha and just started it this morning. So I barely have anything done. But I think those colors really are going to be cute for it. And I think it's going to be like a one day and you're finished type of thing. At least that's what I'm hoping. So I've been trying to, at least throw a couple of things in that I've been wanting to do for a long, long time. And it seems like that's a good approach for me. So keep working on the bigger things and throw in a couple smaller things. Another kit I bought at Country Sampler. And for those of you new to cross stitch, Country Sampler is a shop in a little town in south central Wisconsin, but really unusual, kind of more, not primitive, but definitely not modern, cross-stitch things that are converted. And so a lot of times they have kits available and also quilting projects that are just beautiful. And they sell, charts. I wouldn't say they have every cross-stitch chart under the sun. So, more ones that fit their style, which is beautiful. And but they also have a website. So if you haven't been on there, go take a look because their stuff is just beautiful. So did I say this? I don't know. Christmas in My Heart, 1843, Samplers Not Forgotten. This was one that I saw it on the wall. And I'm like, I wasn't going to buy it. And then I went back for it the next day. So I was staying overnight. So, this is like so long I can't see where I'm at. So I worked a little bit more in the house, and really the house is almost done. So I believe that, those trees go fast. The border is nice because it's not filled in that much. So I really think like having the house done is pretty much getting over halfway, I'd say. Maybe not, but so I am counting on getting this done this year. Are we like leaning Christmas? Just a little bit. So I've been working on 1999 Christmas Sampler by Carriage House Samplings. And I'm not taking that out. I've decided not to put the border on because if I frame it, it will be much easier without that border. I have no idea what this fabric is. I might have mentioned it in a previous video. I think it's 36 count. And I'm using the called for colors, but I am confident that I can get this wrapped up this year before Christmas. I mean, it's March, so that should be doable. And yeah, I really realize how little I like to stitch on dark fabrics. I think maybe the solution is some people go to Ada, and I mean, I have a light box. You would think that would help, but it seems like I need to do it during daylight with my May guys, with my light box, everything that I can have as help. So here's another dark fabric I'm stitching on, the Scarlet House Colonial Blooms. There's two versions. Why I didn't choose the light, I don't know, but it just didn't speak to me as much as the dark. And oh my gosh, I am, once again, I have no idea what this is. I think it's a 36 count, but I am so far off so many places, but I'm like, it really won't matter. It's going to be a little pin pillow, and who's going to look at it that closely? So once again, I thought I was almost done, but I think that container is going to take a bit of work. And I think, no, I thought maybe I was done with the top part, but that is not the case. So, but I'll just keep plugging away. Excuse me. I'll probably be up again tonight. I've been like having to talk myself into going to bed and then sleeping later in the morning, which I really like. As many of you know, I've stitched stockings for family members, and I'm now working on one for my son-in-law. This is the Gold Collection Rooftop Santa by Dimensions, and it's an out of print one, but I found it on eBay for not an awful price. And because I loved it so much, I'm like, you know, I thought you have the cost of what a regular stocking would be, and then you add on a little more, but it wasn't like Lady of the Flag or, you know, that kind of expensive. So I'm like, you work on this for, you know, months and months and months. So I might as well just be working on something I really enjoy working on. The other thing is I promised him it would be done for his 40th birthday. And so that's a year from May 1st. So I thought, oh, you better get moving on it. So when we were up at the cabin, I hauled it out again. And I have to say, I'm just being very diligent about keeping track where I'm at. And yeah, I'm starting to make a little bit of progress. This is like his part of his arm and his armpit. The pink, I'm like, when I stitched the pink, I thought, oh, that's awfully bright, but I think it's all gonna work out. And I love like the reindeer. I love the, I don't know what kind of fur that is. It's not like a, I don't know. Hopefully it's a synthetic fur and no animals had to die for that. So I've been trying to work on that, you know, maybe a couple times a week, just to keep it fresh in my mind. Now we're moving into the house that started out as a barn. Plum Street Samplers, This Happy Morning, the vintage version. And I got this as a kit from Country Sampler. I'm done with the house barn type thing, and then realized I didn't include, there should be another line underneath the house, and I don't know, I might just leave it and go from here. It's like, don't know that would really matter that much. But it's one of those things that later on I looked at it and I'm like, oh, how did I not account for that? I don't have the chart for this one because Margot from our Stitch group started it and she just did not want to finish it. So it's a Patreon chart from Teresa Kogut called, oh yeah, I do have a picture. Green Coat Santa. Pardon my chicken scratching on it. But I am, like, at first I wasn't going to take it, and then nobody else was committing to it, and now I'm just so glad I took it because I love it. I mean, Santa in green, come on. He's awesome. So whether or not I get that finished up this year, I don't know, but it will remain to be seen for all of us. Well, you know what going out of state means for me, and maybe you don't, but I started a new Santa, Prairie School Santa. Every time, my rule is every time I go out of state, I start a new one. So I have a number of them going at a time. I'm stitching them on 24 count vintage country mocha. And let's see, what's the one I started here? Oh, We Wish You a Merry Christmas, 2014. Oh my gosh, these were $4.25. Oh, I have another one that was $2. And this guy is just plain old cute. I don't really have any reason for picking him other than we went to the community theater for a musical in Vero Beach, so I thought, okay, so this is all that I did. But he started, and then I worked on the 1998 one, and I'm making good progress on him, so I should just expend a night or two and get him finished up. Yeah, I've got like these floating heads. Let's see. That one. Got this guy. Got this guy, at least has a face. And then, where is he? Oh, this is the guy I started in Boston. He's pretty cute. So, I'll just show you the pictures because you can't really tell. So this is 2008 with the sled. 2011 with the snowshoes. 1998 with the ark. 2014, We Wish You a Merry Christmas. And 2002, Santa. I plan to purchase 2024, And my tradition is I purchase one for myself and one for one of you. So in upcoming video, I will be giving away this year's Prairie Schooler Santa to some lucky person. And so hopefully I'll get to that not too long in the future. I think, I don't know. I don't really, you know, I don't have a local L&S, and I don't really need anything. I mean, there were so many things I loved at Market that I could have gone home, or not gone home with, but ordered. And I just, you know, want to make some progress on what I already have started or have in my bag kitted up. So I feel like I've been trying to like wait a little bit and not impulse purchase, so that if I do get something, I really know that I need to stitch it, and stitch it right away. I'm going to count this as a whip. This wasn't mine, but this is one that Leanne had with her stuff. It's the Pin Keep Pledge Allegiance 1892. And she had started it on Olive Leaf by Dixie Sampler, and it's a 32 count. She just has a little bit of a start. So I don't think it would take that much to get this one done, and it would be nice to have it for the patriotic season. So our stitch group, I have to put things together or they'll be lost forever. Our stitch group, traditionally we pick names for a gift exchange, and then you stitch for that person, and it's a secret. And we've always had our party in January, but I think I mentioned last video that it was like a sub-zero day, and it just seems stupid for anyone to go out on that day if they didn't have to. So we finally had it in February, and I will include some pictures of people and their gifts. I did not get every gift or every person, which makes me sad now. You know how it is when it's like it's busy and you're looking at this and looking at that. Oh, just some beautiful gifts and stitching and heartfelt gifts. Just awesome. So I hope you take a look at those pictures at the end. I was lucky enough. Well, first off, I'm going to show you the whip that I put in it. Because this is my last whip. I'm stitching Mary Noel Sampler Santa Cinnamon Stick 26, I'm going to say. Designed by Sandra Sullivan. This little guy. And I made some good progress on him. So I was lucky enough to receive this beautiful bag stitched by Chelsea, Annie B's daughter. Look at how cute this is. And it has barb on the beads for the pull, as well as a pretty little charm. And it was filled with lots of goodies, which I've already dug into and put away. But look at this. Oh, no, that's the thread for that chart. But look at the cute lining. So I love this so much. I don't make bags, and I keep thinking I should try making them. I've saved videos and tips and whatever, but one of these days. But anyways, I love this so much, and I feel like I will always, because I always am stitching Christmas, so I will always have a Christmas project in this bag. So thank you, Chelsea. Now we've got a little bit of business to take care of. These things I finally made a decision on. And when anyone who knows me knows that I have a hard time with certain decisions that a lot of people would make very easily. For instance, one of my friend kids about like going to a craft fair with my sister and I, like years and years ago, and we were going to buy something that had a face on it, and we had to look at every single one to see which face we liked the best. And it was always like, well, this smile's really cute, but the eyes on this one, or the bottom, and so it's just how I'm wired. I, will decide I don't want to keep working on something, and then I look at it and think, why don't you just keep working on it? And I'm like, no. So what got me into trouble years and years ago, Pumpkin Patch and the cat. Do any of you remember that? And if you don't, you might want to go back to like some of our earlier videos. I was stitching this piece that I had put aside for, 20 years, because I think it was because I didn't like the cat that was in it. It was like a scarecrow by a tree, and then it had a fall quilt hanging, and I was really pretty far on it, and then decided I wasn't gonna keep going on it, and packed it up and didn't look at it for years. So when I got back into cross stitching, I thought, this is really too cute to not finish, but still looking at the cat and thinking, ooh, I don't like that cat. So finally, Leanne and I decided together, and she did the first ripping stitch. We tore the cat out, and I just filled in the tree and finished it, and I loved it. But at the time, there were a lot of people who said, not a lot, but some people who said to me, keep the cat, the cat's cute, blah, blah, blah. So at that point, I promised that I would stitch another cat on something to replace that. Well, I went to a cross-stitch rummage sale and bought this. It was a kitted up piece, and thought I really wanted to do this. I was going to make a few changes on it from how the pattern was, but I'll show you the pattern. It's Trick or Treat Cat by Designs. You can either do it as a picture or a pin pillow. And I started it. I love the fabric. It's 36 count Da Vinci. Picture this plus. So I started it. And this is how far I got. And I think it's been, a couple of years. And I've just finally come to the conclusion that one of you probably would love to finish this and have it for Halloween. It's not going to be me. So here are the rules. And I have this one, and which has the started stitch, the chart, and most of the DMC flosses with, I don't know, there might be one or two missing. I think I subbed out a couple, but basically what you need. So there'll be that one. So basically you just need a needle, and it's stitched one thread over two, one floss piece over two threads, and you know, like a good part of it is like half the cat is done. And I think I was going to use a different font for the trick or treat, or leave that off and maybe put candy corn around the whole thing. I'm not sure what I was thinking. Oh no, those are stitched. I was thinking that the bats were maybe buttons, but maybe you could find some buttons and then that would speed up the stitching, or not even do the border. But anyways, I'm not going to finish it. So I hope one of you would like to finish it. So this is what we're going to do. I will give you until, well, let's do April Fool's Day. April Fool's Day. April 1st, 2024. If you would like to stitch the cat, just comment in the comments, cat, and let's see, tell me if it's where you're from and if it's spring by you yet. We've gone from, 60-degree days to cold days, and tomorrow we're supposed to get hit with a snowstorm. So, it seems like it's all over the place here. So just curious how it is with you. So as usual, you need to be 18. Please be a subscriber and like the video. And yeah, one of you, if you comment before April 1st, will get the started project, the chart, and the flosses. Okay, now this one I had a harder time coming to peace with. Spring Fling. Oh, Brenda Gervais. I mean, someone gifted me this chart because I loved it so much, and I had to start it like immediately. And this is how far I got. I am having the hardest time with this fabric, and see, he had a flat head, and that kind of bothered me. So then I thought if I made his head go up, but now it just looks like, I don't know. Oh, he's got a plateau up there. I don't like it any better. So I like this fabric, so I am going to tear it out and use it for like something else, springy or Valentine. So if you would like the chart though, you could have the chart. And this will be only the chart, Spring Fling. And let's do the same as we did with the cat. Let's put rabbit as the word. And same rules, 18 subscriber, like, and tell me if it's spring by you and where you're from. So, and you can put that in the comments below, and you can enter one or both. Obviously, you can only win one of them. Well, not obviously. I mean, it's just kind of nice. So I'm officially quitting this one, much as I liked it. And I can't remember who sent this to me. I feel bad that I didn't finish it, but that's why I would like to share it with someone who will finish it. And I look at the overdyed flosses that I have invested, and I'm like, I want to use these for other things if this is going to be sitting there that long. So that's it. Not for the video, but yeah. Moving on. I still, oh my gosh, I have so many things. I have to have a sip of coffee because I have to finish this before the video's over with. And I gotta do an announcement for these. You guys know about these Cadbury mini eggs? I did not grow up with these. In fact, I don't know when they came to existence. I won't eat it, but I will show it to you. They come in like pastel colors. I think they also make them in bright colors, which, let's see, that's just a white. But they're not anything like a Cadbury egg, which is mushy and gushy. They're more like a supersized M&M, I would say. Says milk chocolate with a crisp sugar shell. I didn't know about them until Leanne started putting them in my kids' Easter basket. She would give them each year. And I'm like, what are these? And so then, and there was another thing that was almost close in look to it. So when I would like go into their candy stash, sometimes I was disappointed, and then sometimes I wasn't. So I finally, as I got older, figured out, well, you can buy those, even though I try not to. But I did buy a bag this year because I thought we'd use them on the Easter houses that I'm going to make with the grandkids. But they just called to me one night, so I'm like, oh all right. But anyways, that's kind of that. So we still have FOs, we have FFOs, and we have things that I plan to stitch, which I kind of did last time, but now I've narrowed it down to exactly which ones I'm going to be stitching. Let's do that. Okay, I haven't kitted it up yet, but Stars and Stripes by Brenda Gervais is definitely going to get started this year. This one I'm going to do Twisted Threads Itty Bitty Stars and Stripes. Just as little pin pillows. Patriotic Series Patriotic Pin Cushion by Sub Rosa. I bought it as a PDF. It's, let me see if I can do this really quick. This one. I definitely want to do Americana Carriage House samplings. I'm going to start Stars and Stripes by Plum Street Samplers and Shakespeare's Peddlers. They each did one. That is so darn cute. I have all my flosses picked out. I just need to get my fabric. Blackbird Designs Stars and Stripes. This looks like it would be, I probably would use a different red, but I think it would be really cute. That was a thrift find. What year is that from? Let's see if it says on here. Oh, 2003. So not super old. Okay. And then we go to the big bag. This is a freebie. I think like the cross-stitch shops were putting this out. It's the first Robin of Spring, designed by Elizabeth Foster. And it's just a little robin. So I picked out my colors, and I was gonna just use this little scrap with these, I don't know, these colors. But I thought this would be perfect. Or let's see, ginger snap for the robin redbreast. But I think I might have to go to this chunk of, let's see, Heartland. And I would imagine, because I got this from Keepsakes, that it was probably a 28 or at the most 32 count, because I want to make it as a little pillow, or not pillow, but rounded top, and put it in here. So I figured out, I used the free calculator and I plugged in the design width without adding any border. And the design, if I used a 28 count, would come to 3x3. If I used a 40 count, it would be 2x2. So I definitely want to use a bigger count on this to fill, so the design fills that space. But I think, you know, that probably would be a one-night project. So I hope to start that one shortly. Oh man, oh man, oh man. No, this one I decided not to do. There's some that I put back. I'm going to do Summer's Souvenir by Blackbird Design. Oh, got my working copy. My bag's like the picture is in upside down. I probably will start that one sooner. I also have Scarlet House, A Changed World kitted up. This one is just so beautiful. Scarlet House Smith sampler. A number of us in our stitch group are going to be working on it. Well, they all started and I didn't. And after seeing a couple of theirs at our stitch group last week, I'm like, I have to get going on that. I was going to start on Leap Day, but what happened was that was the day we flew home from Florida, and after being gone for like 10, 11 days, and I think it was a Thursday, we were going to go up north on Monday. And so it was like, okay, you have like a couple days home to do all the laundry, and we wanted to go to the car show was downtown, which we did end up doing. My car is a 2012 with 163,000 miles on it, and I still love it. You know, like, it's the only brand new car I've ever had in my life, which I thought that was something that I always wanted, but now I realize, and I probably still will get a new car, just to have the warranty and all that. But I've realized that I don't need, like, some people, that's their identity, and, they love cars or whatever. And, the amount you pay for them and the satisfaction, it doesn't equal out for me. So, like, one of the people working the show said, well, what do you want? And I said, I want basically, like right now I can get 500 miles on a tank of gas, and I can get 34 miles to the gallon on an expressway. And those are things that are still important to me. We have a big truck, so like I don't really need something that can, make it through snowbanks, because I'm no longer driving in, 25 miles to work every day in a snowstorm. So, yeah. Well, now I'm really going off. Anyways, we went to the car show. And so, yeah, then we were having my daughter and the grandkids over on Sunday night for dinner, and I just never started it. So I really hope to get going on it. At least, you know, the worst thing is to start it for me. But after seeing Beth and Margot's the other day, I was just like, I have to start that. And then the other thing I want to start are the Waxy Moon Designs Patriotic House Trio. Leanne had stitched these. I've stitched, did I just stitch? Oh, I stitched spring and I stitched winter, but I would really like to have these. And what else is in this bag? Oh, so I stitched 3 of these. These are the Little House Needleworks samplers. And so I've done winter, and I have summer, and I have somewhere in here, I have fall. I had winter in a frame, but then I thought of a different finish that I might do with them. And so I have spring left. And so I've got the, you know, like everything in here, all the floss, what I'm going to use, and I should just finish it up. And, you know, it's going to be easy stitching. So it's kind of, you know, just changing the floss. Oh, and I showed this last time. I haven't started on it. But I got this kit at Primitive Gatherings, and I do want to make it this year. So, yeah, so that's enough stuff, isn't it? Okay. Ooh, that's probably more than I should have for new starts, but you know, I've been finishing my old stuff, so. That's okay. All right, let's do Stop the Floss. Thrift store finds. All right. This guy, I found him at a thrift store up north. No, I didn't. I did. Oh my gosh. Like a standing bunny with shoes. And the best part was he was $1.50. So I knew immediately he was coming home with me. And then, you know, for 75 cents a box that you can use for Valentine's Day, a Valentine's Day finish, you know, and very easy to paint over this. So why wouldn't you pick it up instead of buying a brand new one at, you know, Joann's or one of the bigger stores? All right. So still got more. Some good stuff. I picked up this chart, Cinnamon Heart Needlework, because of that snowman. Oh my gosh, isn't he cute? I mean, the whole, this is really cute too. I don't know. Who knows what I'll stitch of it, but. And then I found this little 4th of July mailbox and thinking, you know, you could do a little pillow coming out of there or something in the, just even that fit in the flappy thing. And That was 50 cents. I think that was a good deal. And then I've done 2 of the containers that have cross-stitch pieces on a stick mixed with other stuff. And I thought this would be really cute on the door, the inside of my door, with just like some greenery, and then eventually get some cross-stitch every day. I don't know. They look like peaches to me just because of the color. I love peaches. You know, there's nothing like a good ripe peach, which it's always hard like when you buy them because you don't know if they're going to be good or not. And then when they're good, it's just like, oh my gosh, that's awesome. Oh. So I get teased. My granddaughter tells her friends, Bobby, which is my grandma name, Bobby plants flowers in shoes. Well, I do, but they're the wooden clogs. My husband draws drainage holes in them, and then I just put some dirt in, and they're adorable, let me tell you. They, you know, eventually, I probably should coat them with waterproofing or something, because eventually, if you have them sitting in the garden, they kind of fall apart, but that's okay. And then, let's see. Oh my gosh, like there were, I think somebody who has my taste must have cleaned out their Easter rabbit collection. Because look at these. A big chocolate bunny. I love just like putting these all over the place. And then this one is more like paper mache. And he's got radishes. And oh, you know why? I wanted to show you this. Okay, this is an FO, so we're going a little out of order. But this is Prairie Schooler PQR, and the R for rabbit is the one that I wanted. But look at this. Oh. Look how cute that. I finished this the other night, but oh, I think, I don't know. I was thinking maybe that's supposed to be a candle, but no. Look at, he's a brown bunny holding radishes, and it's a brown bunny with a radish on there. So, like, it couldn't have been more perfect. So I'll have to figure out, maybe I'll do a flat fold with this guy with him. But I'm telling you, I was so excited to see that one. Okay. And then not only chocolate bunnies, but like a little iridescent bunny with a basket of eggs. Here's another chocolate bunny. I can't wait to put these out. And then this one was like a basket. Chocolate bunny. And I got a bunch of zippers to hopefully make some project bags. Here's the final chocolate bunny. You guys are probably thinking, oh my gosh, what is she gonna do with all these bunnies? But I will figure it out. And then this cute little tin I thought would be cute to make a star-shaped patriotic thing. All right, now we're going to move on to FOs, of which I have. Well, I showed you the one already. I think 8 of us from our stitch group stitched on Our Lasting Friendship. So every member that was involved in the stitch along stitched a portion of the chart, and every month we had a different segment, so you never, wasn't like you had to stitch one part 8 times, although that might have been easier. But anyways, I finally finished mine up. And I'm very excited to have it done. I was looking in my basement for a frame, and even though I have probably over 100, I wasn't coming up with one that I really liked. So the center portion with the cartouches, that took me a lot longer than I was expecting it to. So what I did was I put the 7 people who stitched on my sampler, I put their initials in the cartouche shapes. And then Beth from our group had given me this idea, and she did it, so pure plagiarism. But she stitched the other members of our group's initials in the box as well. And so I did that too. And I wanted to have both the house and the tree and the bird. So mine is pretty filled in. But so I had all the other members' initials as well as mine and also Leanne's. So I love it. I'm glad it's done. And I hope someday to have it hanging right here behind me. Alrighty. And I stitched that on 36 count lentil by Lakeside Linens. Used all the called for color except Lisa Margot started to use different colors in theirs, and so I substituted with what they used, or one of them used. Used brick for oak and raspberry frost and nutmeggy for straw hat. So definitely not as monotone as a lot of people's. Okay, now this seems really like out of sync, but oh, this is another FFO. I got May done, and this is May. So I think I did it just all called for colors. This is 32 count ivory, I think, Lugana, and love those little sheep. I had to do the sheep that was in this one. So it's really cute. I'm glad it's done. I think now I have 8 done, but I'll have to put that on a board sometime before May. And then I did have this up, but it is no longer February. I had the angst of deciding what to put in there in the corner because I didn't want 2 groundhogs. And did I forget to stitch something here? Well, it's going to be how it is. I ended up going with love, but I didn't do the blue because there wasn't much blue in there, and I just didn't think it would be right. So I have this on, I've showed it in other videos. It's like a hanging wall thing that has a basket underneath, and I have a stripe ticking that I have permanently in there. And then there's space underneath, so I make a little fence. Well, I decided to decorate it up for Valentine's Day, and I think it's really cute. I always think of this ribbon as keepsake ribbon because keepsake has the beige and green gingham bags. So that one is complete. And then last year I had finished up White Christmas, The Colors of Christmas. by the little stitcher. I originally did the snowflake and the skates. And so I wanted to stitch the snowman. So these were the ones that I did first. This one and this one. And this cute little fabric on the back. Well, when I was stitching the snowman, I'm like, I kind of like that deer. It kind of reminds me of Saint Lucia with the candelabras in his antlers. So I decided to stitch both of them. And I'm like, that way I won't ever think, oh, should I stitch it? Shouldn't I stitch it? Okay. Then I had this thrift frame and wanted to do something with it. So I ended up just doing a little wool applique. Like I traced the inside shape so that I knew, you know, it wouldn't cover it, the wings and stuff, and just did a little wool applique love in there. And I think it's cute. I mean, this frame is so gaudy that like you couldn't put a lot of design in there. All right. This one, I can't remember who it's by. I think I talked about it and I can't find its sheet. But anyways, I bought it as a PDF. And if you want to know what it is, let me know. I will dig it out. I probably have a sheet for it somewhere. But I just love it. I used just kind of a pink floral on the back that matched the flowers, and I have this kind of lighter than this color in my powder room downstairs, and so that it will go on a little shelf in there. Then Heartstring Samplery Snow Zone. I started this, so it's a punch needle and a cross stitch, but the cross stitch is full coverage. I started it on a snowy day in January, and all along I'm like, I'm gonna make it into flat fold, gonna make it into flat fold. Well, came home from, I think it was maybe between Florida and going up to the cabin. And I thought, why don't you just finish that? Because it was out on my table, work table. And I'm like, okay, you got the backing fabric, just make it into a little pin pillow. So I sew around it, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, I wasn't going to make a pin pillow. I was going to make a flat fold. So then it threw off everything that I was going to do. I had like a couple snowflakes out, but in the end, I think it's really cute. So pin pillow instead of flat fold. Another thing I did was, you know, it's full coverage, just a lot of stitching. So I think I gave it maybe three or four full rows of the blue over the topmost design feature, which I think is like smoke. And I didn't put any more sky or anything else there. I'm like, that's proportionate enough. So I love it. And then I also, because I had 3 snowflakes painted. I'm like, that's a good way to cover. I've got an indent because I had it underneath my sewing machine, but it's gradually coming out. But it's a good way to cover up the spot that I turned it. All right. And then, as some of you can see behind me, I found this lampshade for my lamp. And it didn't have a, what do they call those things? Harp. Didn't have a harp. So I got like one of those clip-on ones, but it's still too short. So I need to get, I'm going to look for a taller light bulb or something that extends the socket just to get it up like another inch or two. But I love the color with it. I like the shape. I think the proportion based on investigating proportions for lampshades works. And so instead of paying $70 for a lampshade, I got this one at Goodwill for $2.99. And color-wise, style-wise, I think it'll be good. And then you might have noticed that I have pansy basket finished up. Now this is, well, I don't know what it's called, but it's from the Easter Parade chart by Blackbird Designs. I have no idea what the fabric is. I kind of used a lot of my own colors. And it's not perfect because I wasn't planning on doing this with it. I didn't know what I was going to do. I had used this for this guy. And so I thought I could do, like, fill this out completely and then just have 2 things at once and spin it around when I needed to. But I realized I didn't have enough fabric to do that. I had to just make it fit in the thing there. But I thought a good way, it's good because like now I'm going to put the chick in the frame. And then what I did was I just put like a washer on the back and like some magnets that I didn't really like because they don't hold that good. But in this case, I'll be able to then store the one that's not currently showing in front on the back side. So, using my head. All right. So, I can't even imagine how long this is going to be. So we took care of that. I will also put, for what I stitched for the stitch exchange was, it was one of my whips I ended up finishing up. And it was, I don't know. That was so long ago. I will put, when I show the picture of it, I will put the design in the picture. But I had Colette and she loved it. So, that was, I was happy she liked it. I also made some like pins to go in the thing. Oh, this was funny though, because I'm like, I wanted to have a nice dome top. So I cut out like, a whole stack of fiberfill and it was, raised up. And I'm like, well, I can get that better shape if I just leave that cardboard or mat board circle in there. So I did that and it looked really nice. Well, then I made some not counting pins, but just decorative pins to go with it. And at that point I'm like, oh, that's why they told you to take the cardboard out. Because you couldn't stick the pins in. I'm like, oh, stupid. So I kind of stuck them on the side and it was fine. But the pins, if I have to say so myself, turned out really cute. And so, people were asking me how I made them. So maybe I'll do just it'll probably be a 5 minute video on how I did them because I was goofing with it and I think it turned out cute. Spring break for the grandkids is next week, so we're going to have an overnight. The 4-year-old, my daughter, like I want to talk to her about Easter, and so I called her or texted her that she should call me. So she called me while she was doing pickup from preschool, and I'm like, "Oh, are you picking Preston up from school?" And all of a sudden I can hear, because he's in the back of the van, "I'm right here, you know." The kid is just, he is funny. He just, just has a personality that's pretty big. And as my dad used to say about my son, I hope I live long enough to see what he turns out to be. And I understand now what he meant by that. So, but they're all cute, and so they want to come for an overnight. So that'll be fun. We just got to figure out what day to have them, because the youngest one still has preschool, so we'll have to do it. So it's one of the days that he's off that they wake up. But I probably will make like Easter houses with them. Basically what it is you take those like pink wafer cookies that are rectangular and you glue them together with frosting, and then they can decorate them with various Easter candy. So we'll probably do that. I was thinking about making some cutout cookies. We have to make the lamb cake, which I might just make it as a lamb this year. I feel like, traditions come and go and you gotta evolve. Sometimes it's just easier to, oh, I'm realizing the old one shows. My bad. Yeah, so, like as I was saying, it's hard to make some of those decisions, but so other than that, we're just gearing up. The snow is coming back tomorrow, so the snowblower is back in the garage, which we had kept going in there and it smelled like gasoline. I thought it was gonna explode, and my husband was trying to take this out and take that out, and it was weird because it's like, well, what did you bring in? And he thought maybe it was, I don't know, snowblower or some tool or something. And then finally the other day he's like, oh, I think I might have found the source. And it was some diesel fuel that he had on I don't know, he had put it on the other side of the garage. And once he moved that out, it's yeah, I think that was it. So it's nice that we can go out to our garage and not feel like, you have to hold your breath or you're going to explode if you have a heat source near you. Yeah, now I'm rambling. Ramble. And am I done with my coffee? Not quite. Let me finish this. I'll start all those projects yet. How cute is that? I love decorations on the inside, even though you can't see them. I don't know. So when I saw this mug, I'm like, the eggs on this the inside didn't. I mean, I love when they're painted a bright color on the inside too, but it's probably like a real bacterial trap or something. So if you don't see me for a while, you know I was poisoned by my cup. All right, now I've rambled way too long. So Easter next week. And, whether you just celebrate with bunnies and chicks or the religious significance of it, I hope it's a great time for family and special days. So, what else can I say? I hope to be back by, sooner than I was this last time. Not much going on now. So, but in the meantime, please continue to fill the world with love, and maybe next time I'll actually have moved these. These were my St. Vincent de Paul treasures that I don't know how I ever worked without them, because I can store so much finishing stuff in them. Okay. Yeah, so continue to fill the world with love, and we'll see you when we see you. And I hope you're all doing well and have a happy Easter.